Lawrence with Western New York Athletics, and you are at our next edition from the Sidelines. We're going a little bit different with this edition, as we're actually going to get the chance to talk to 3 college seniors right now that are going through the decision-making process of, do I go back for my senior year, get a chance to play that senior year out, or is it time for me to go on for the next chapter of my life because I'm ready for that chapter to begin also? There's a lot of things that come into play with this decision-making process, and that's what we're going to go through here today. My guests, first let's start off. Brandon Weber, right now senior at Gannon, and also a graduate of Orchard Park High School. Then we have Kyle Warner, a current senior at Canisius, graduate at Springville High School. And Taylor Olson, right now a senior at Notre Dame College, and is a graduate of Gowanda High School. Hey, thanks for joining me, everybody.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
Absolutely. Couldn't ask for a better group to be able to give and have this discussion here, as I know you guys are all going through this decision. So my first question that I have for you is, just to get everybody to get to know a little bit about you, is what are you majoring in at school? And then what is the next chapter in your life going to be? So in other words, are you going to grad school? Is it a job because of your major? You're looking for certain employment. What could that be, and what is the next chapter? Brandon, let's start off with yourself.
All right, I'm a sports management and marketing major. So basically for me, the decision's really based on if I'd have a job lined up or what I was planning on doing after college. After college, I've been coaching summer ball for full circuit for the last 3 years, and coaching something I want to continue. So that'd be the first avenue I took after college.
Okay. Kyle, how about you?
I'm also a sports management major. I'm going back to Canisius to pursue a master's in sports administration. So that is kind of a factor for me. A little bit money too is a big factor, actually. So.
Oh, I'm sure monetary is always a big reason for everybody. Taylor, how about you?
I'm majoring in accounting, and I have a minor in financial management services. I'm looking to go back for my master's in business administration. It's still a work in progress, but we're trying to figure it out.
Wow. So you got a lot of things working there as far as degrees are concerned. So, okay, my first question that I have for you is, what factors are coming into play in order for you to make this decision? So, Kyle, you already alluded to one of them, which financial will absolutely be part of what we're discussing right here. But I know there are a lot of things that are coming into play. So let's talk about all those things that are coming into play that are part of your decision-making process. Kyle, we're going to start off with you on this one.
Yeah, well, like I said, money is what's really the biggest thing for me. Loans, stuff like that. And just kind of flip into the personal side of it. I don't know, leaving so many people behind, kind of teammates, them, that's the personal side for me. I don't know, it's tough if I was to leave and not play, leaving people like that behind, but I don't know, it's something that could be done and would make me happy, I guess. Kind of weird to say, but.
Kyle, what happened when they first made that announcement? They made that announcement that you're no longer, because you had a couple games in, if I'm correct, right? You got a chance to play a smattering, nothing major, right?
Yeah. We played 3 weekends. We played Marshall, Bradford, and UMass Lowell. And we were actually supposed to get on a bus the day they told us that the season was canceled to go to Michigan. And yeah, that's pretty much, our coach just gathered us all on the field and, told us, and it was tough to hear.
What was the reaction?
All the seniors really just kind of huddled together, and we talked. We just kind of talked about, everything, what to do moving forward. Just, we cried. I'll be honest, I'll say it.
Yeah.
It was terrible what happened, but had to.
No, and absolutely, and it's better that you do get those emotions out. There's no doubt about it. So, that's great, and I could absolutely see there are probably a lot of other seniors that went through that exact same moment there too. So, Taylor, let's go to you right now. So same thing. What are all the factors right now that are coming into play for you?
So like Kyle, like financially, my college is private, so it's pretty expensive, and I live out of state, so I have to pay the out of state fees. So that's a factor. But like personally, like I personally only had 6 games. We only went to Florida, and we only were playing 6 games. So like not being ready to give up the game yet is kind of like a big factor to it. Like, so much unfinished business and stuff like that.
And same thing. So you're down. Were you in Florida when you found out that you weren't going to play anymore?
No, we were back from Florida. I think it was a few weeks after, but we were preparing for our first conference games that weekend. So we were back. We had a week break to recover from Florida and get ready for conference. So that's what we were preparing for.
And tell me, same thing. What was the emotion? What happened when they first told you that this was going to be what was going to happen moving forward?
Well, there's 4 seniors, so obviously, and we all live together in this house I'm currently in right now. So our coaches brought us together, and we obviously knew it was over and talked about it. A lot of crying, like Kyle said. So it was hard, very hard to hear. So
No doubt about it. So, Brandon, let's go over to yourself. Same question.
Yeah, so for me, I already had to go back for another semester just to finish up undergrad. So already going back in the fall, that's already for sure because I got to finish up school. But like Taylor said, private school, very expensive at Gannon. And for me, we're 12 games into the season. We were literally the day we got told we were supposed to be on a bus going we were supposed to go to Philadelphia. We were supposed to play somewhere in Philly. Yeah, I mean, it was devastating finding out for sure. For us, we only had 2 seniors. And I mean, yeah, you just reflect in that moment on 18 years that you put hard work and sweat into, and it all just hit you at once.
Wow, only 2 seniors at Gannon. Wow, that's I didn't realize it was such a small senior class. So, hey, just also tell everybody, what position do you guys actually play out on the field? So, Taylor, let's start with you. What position or positions do you play right now for Notre Dame?
I'm a pitcher.
Okay. Oh, I think we go clear across the board with this one, Brandon.
Pitcher.
Kyle.
Yeah, left-handed pitcher.
Well, look at that. Wow, we got the pitching class here. I didn't realize we got all pitchers on that one. Fantastic. So, okay, now my next question is, we go to advice to many different places, right? There are a lot of people we look as far as a confidant is concerned. So my question is right now is, who are you going to for advice in this process? Where are you trying to get everything that you can get as far as information to help you make the right decision that you feel is right for you? Taylor, let's start with you on that one.
Well, first I went to my parents because obviously they help support me financially and help with that process. Other family members, previous coaches, my current coaches, just to see what their opinions were about it. I contacted like our school and stuff like that to find out like if the graduate program would be in my best interest and stuff like that. Whether, what I've heard a lot about it is with this whole coronavirus thing, it's going to be very hard to find a job if you already didn't have one lined up, because I personally didn't. So it really, besides the money factor, it really would be in my best interest to go to graduate school and figure it out, take 1 more year to figure it out and stuff like that. So that's where I'm at.
Okay. Brandon, how about yourself?
For me, well, you repeat the question. I just kind of forgot that.
It's all right. So who are you going for advice? Where and who are you going to actually get the advice from?
Yeah, so for me, first I clearly called my dad. He was the first one I called after finding out. We had a long talk about it. I had to go to my advisor and see if there was a way I could maneuver my schedule around to make it so I could go back in the spring. Finding out you only have 15 credits left, it's a tough decision to make. And then I go back to one person I always go to, Charlie Karstead. I called him too. He's a great mentor. He gave me a lot of good info, and he also a big influencer on my decisions.
Fantastic. And Kyle, how about yourself?
So yeah, my parents are a big factor in it. And then my friends, loved ones, all old coaches, people like that, really people that have always had your back.
Yeah, no doubt. So, okay, let's do a little bit of a fun question right here as we get into it. So, what right now is that one moment you'll never forget on a college field? So, for baseball field, softball field, but what is that one moment you'll never forget? Kyle, let's start with yourself on this one.
Probably this past year, first start as a college baseball player was against UMass Lowell, and it was actually our first win of the season. So,
Nice.
Pretty cool moment.
Taylor, how about you?
My freshman year, I got put into a position where I pitched a lot as a freshman, which is not typical, obviously. We played against, they were ranked 5th in the nation for D2. It was Grand Valley State. And this is probably my 3rd game I pitched, so it was straight off the bat. And we were, everyone was coming to me, just do your best, blah, blah. We ended up winning 5-3. So that was my first college win, so it's kind of cool.
That's awesome. Brandon, how about yourself?
For me, mine's probably getting our name called on Selection Sunday for the first time in school history, and then going down to Westchester and pitching in the first regional game we've been a part of. So
fantastic. Well, those are 3 great ones, you guys, no doubt about it. So I also cover a lot for high school sports. That's really where the passion and the love has come from for me also. So I can't go without a high school question here, you guys. So I'm going to ask the same question. What is that one moment you'll never forget on a high school field, to give our high school students and our high school players and coaches also a little bit of a memory there? Taylor, let's start with you on this one.
Well, I don't know. I don't really have a particular thing, but my favorite memory is playing Olean. Usually we always, duel it out. We usually would split every year, and I don't know, it's just, I can always remember those Olean games. They always kept you on your toes, and, it was probably the best competition we had. So I just really, that was something I really enjoyed, was playing them.
So the Gowanda Olean rivalry. Let's leave it. There you go. Great one.
Yeah.
So, Brandon, how about you?
You'll probably remember this one. Back in 2015, my junior year, when Sipowicz walked us off against McQuaid to send us to the state Final Four.
Yeah, that
was a great memory.
Yeah, that was a great memory, no doubt about it. Kyle, how about yourself?
Mine's actually against Olean too. Was a quarterfinal game where they were ranked pretty high in the state, and we were a pretty big underdog, I'd say, and we won. I think it was 3-1 maybe, and I think I had the winning RBI, and I closed the game out. So yeah, it's pretty cool.
That's awesome. Oh, that was a hitting and a pitching one.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That's great. So, okay, what are you guys going to miss most about your college experience? So, if you're going to make this decision right now and you say, okay, it's done, I'm going to move on, what is going to be the one thing or a couple things that you're going to really miss most about your college experience? Brandon, let's start with you on this one.
I'm going to have to say the bond that I formed with all my teammates. It's like a brotherhood once you get there, and you've been there for 4 years. Everybody that comes in, it's a perfect fit. Anybody that comes in, it's just jumps right in the brotherhood. And honestly, I'm probably going to miss 6 a.m.s. You say you hate them, but, when it's over, you miss them. So
it's true. It really is. Kyle, how about yourself?
Yeah. I'll miss the brothers, all the brothers you make. I mean, you're with them every single day throughout the whole year. And then one day it can just be taken away from you, and that kind of sucks, but.
Yeah,
no doubt. And Taylor, how about you?
Basically the same. My teammates, 4 years, you form so many bonds and stuff like that. You have different coaches, and like our school, I'm just gonna miss like our school atmosphere. It's not a big college. I know you probably have never heard of it. No. It's not a very big college, but everyone's just very welcoming, and it's pretty much a family. So
And I have heard of it, so don't worry about it. It is a very prominent school, so no doubt about it. So listen, before I get into you guys revealing exactly what your decision is at this point, who do you guys want to thank along the way? There are a lot of people that helped you get to where you are. There's no doubt about it, and it could be cover the gamut here, but there's no doubt that we always want to be able to thank people along the way. So I'm going to give you that opportunity. So who would you like to thank for where you have gotten today? Taylor, let's start with yourself.
I would like to thank my parents for most. They're very supportive. My dad especially goes to every game for the most part, and it's 2.5 hours from our house. Most of our conference is in West Virginia, so they're traveling all over the place. And my grandparents, my Nana in particular, always comes and supports as well. I would like to thank my travel ball coach, Chuck Rigetti, and my pitching coach, Kara Zindel, and my current coaches and teammates as well.
Fantastic. And Brandon, how about yourself?
For me, first and foremost, I'd like to thank my family, including my grandparents. Everybody comes out, watches the games, they're the biggest supporters. Then it goes to, people that have coached me. I know you're one of them. Thank you. Every coach. I've been around 15 different teams growing up. So, Charlie Karstad is a big one for me. He brought me into his wing when I was 14 or something after getting cut 2 years from Modified, thinking that was the end of the road for me in baseball. And then Chuck's son giving me the opportunity to start as a freshman on JV, just react my love for the game and continue to grow from there.
Yeah, you proved, no doubt, that you work hard. Great things will happen to people that work hard, and you are an absolute evidence of that. No doubt about it, Brandon.
Thank you.
Kyle, how about you?
First, I want to thank my parents. Obviously, they have spent a ginormous amount of money on me traveling, coming to watch me play almost every game they could, even growing up, travel ball that. Second, I want to thank all the coaches that have taught me everything from work ethic to how to throw a curveball. Just little things like that are really helpful, and then all my friends and loved ones, really, they were there the whole way, and can't thank them enough.
Yeah, no doubt. So that's great. So now, what everyone's been waiting for at this point is you've got a couple different decisions that are going to be made right here, and you've actually taken a lot of time and a lot of commitment and a lot of anguish, I'm sure, at this point, to be able to make the decision that you've gone through, with emotions going up and down all over the place. So now let's talk about what decisions you've made. Brandon, what's your decision? What are you going to do for next season?
Yeah, so next season I'm going back. Figure out a way around some things to get my schedule where I need it to be. So basically the NCAA, you need 12 credits to be an eligible student athlete, but in your graduating semester, you don't need to follow that. So in the fall, I'll take my 12 credits and then take one class in the spring and play baseball.
Fantastic. Wow, great. Well, we wish you all the luck and know that a big season could be ahead for you. And that, absolutely, like you said, it started already. Kyle, what is your decision?
As of right now, I am not planning on going back to play. I'm happy with hanging them up and kind of walking away from the game and moving on to the next step of my life.
And Kyle, what is that next step?
My goal is to be an athletic director one day, and I'm going to pursue my master's in sports administration, like I said, and that's just the next step to get into that goal.
Fantastic. Taylor, what is your decision?
Well, I'm planning on coming back. I'm doing my master's of business administration, so hopefully everything works out.
Fantastic. And obviously, you've already had some huge success there, so there's no doubt you wanted to finish and see that through.
Mm-hmm.
That's great. Well, listen, I can't thank you enough for joining me today on the broadcast. This is great, and this is just a little insight of what everybody's going through, the ups and downs. You could see is we had two different decisions that were made, and what you can see that it definitely was something that weighed on each and every one of you. But let's at least say, thank God that the NCAAs came through and granted everyone the opportunity to make that decision and let you guys make that decision what was best for you. And that's what I'd like to see. For a while there, you saw all the Facebook posts and the Twitter and everything on social media coming out and saying is, give them another year, give them that opportunity. And thank God they did, because here we have two of you chose to take that opportunity to move forward. And Kyle, at least you're doing it on your terms. So you're doing how you want to go out. And that, I think, is tremendous right there. So thank you again for joining me on the Western New York From the Sidelines. And hopefully we get a chance to talk to you guys real soon, or at least see you out at a field and be able to hear about the success that you guys are having.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.